Anyways, I'm back. I'm back in Boston, baby. A lot of B's there. Alliteration. Pass blue ribbon. Remember Cajun Man? Adam Sandler. Weekend Update. Back in the day when I was young. I'm back here in Boston, and this is my first Christmas as a dad. It's pretty exciting. I made a promise to myself that I was not going to flip out at all. That I was going to be as rosy as my daughter's cheeks are right now because she's teething. And I was able to do that until I picked up the rental car. I lost my shit twice, maybe 3 times. I vaguely remember taking my hat off and throwing it as hard as I can down at the empty passenger seat. You know, like it was the end of the game and there was a terrible call. Like somebody scored a touchdown and they said, oh, wait, you didn't make a football move, and now I got to be on the road during the playoffs. Playoffs! All right, here's what happened. We had a very early flight, and this is the first time I was flying. No, second time flying with my wife and daughter. But the first time we did, my kiddo was so young, you know what I mean? It was like bringing a loaf of bread with you. You know, she was really into being held back then and snuggled and all that type of stuff. Well, now my kid's mobile. Going mobile, right? I believe she's what they call cruising at this point, which means she can pull herself up on a table and then walk side to side and do like all kinds of stuff like that. So we did great on the plane. Everybody was loving my daughter over there. You know, she was just peeking over the seats, waving at everybody. Flight attendants were carrying her, walking up and down the aisle. It was great. By the end, she had everybody loving her, just smiling and waving. I'm going to try that on a flight. I'm going to start peeking over the seat, just smiling and waving at people like a fucking lunatic. So anyways, we go to get off the plane, and it's the usual battle between a man and a woman. The guy's thinking, okay, we check bags, we also have to pick up a rental car. There's going to be all these fucking people there, all right? There's going to be a bunch of people traveling. It's going to take forever to get the bags. Why don't I, while you guys wait to get the bags, I'll get on the fucking bus, the rental car bus, and I will go over to pick up the fucking rental car. You know, and my wife is a woman, right? Always was a woman, by the way. She did not transition, just to be progressive and give all you the information. She's a woman, so she wants to be social. Oh, I thought we could all go over there together. Why don't... This is me imitating you right now. I thought we could all go there together. She just gave me the finger. And I'm like, honey, we have 3 check bags. I didn't want to check a bag. I was going to travel. Oh, good. My kid's screaming in there. I didn't want to check a bag. I was just going to pack like I was going to go do a funny bone or some shit, right? A couple pairs of pants, a couple of headliner shirts, sweatpants, and a T-shirt, right? But she's just like, what if we go out to eat? What if we get some Christmas gifts and we need space? Could you just please bring a giant bag? So I took out my fucking bag that, you know, I didn't even use the last time I went to Europe because I finally learned how to fucking pack. So we had 3 of those fucking things. So I'm like, honey, we're going to get off the plane first because we're riding up front like fancy people. We're going to stand down there for a good 15, 20 minutes while the rest of the people file down. And then we'll stand there for another 5 minutes before the belt turns on. And then after the belt turns on and everybody's excited, it's just going to shut off. And then everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? And then another belt, 2 belts over, is going to turn on. Okay? And some smarty pants is going to figure out that that's actually where our flight is. Except he's not going to tell anybody because he's a selfish cunt. And he's going to stand over there, and then gradually people will start noticing faces from their flight, 2 belts over, getting bags, not telling everybody so they can get out in the taxi line before anybody else. Then there's going to be a stampede of fucking people. This is basically what's going to happen. And this is the reason why I don't check a bag. Okay? But in loyalty and dedication to you, in our little family unit, I chose to do that. So all of this shit's going to be going down. All right? As we stand there going, what the fuck's going on? Meanwhile, I could be over there getting the car. All right? And then I could get the car, and just as the belt starts, I could already be driving back, smiling, waving, beep, beep. Right? I like picking up my car, toot, toot, beep, beep. So much to my surprise, she goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, yes. Right? So, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Boston, but I don't know what this fucking city has against signage. They have plenty of signs, but none really tell you where to go. They're all sort of vague. And there's arrows pointing you in the general direction. And then at the last second, the place you want to be, after you want to make the turn, right behind that road as you're driving 40 miles an hour, will be a sign pointing at the road that you're currently passing with whatever it is that you're looking for in the smallest print ever. So, I get on the bus. I walk out. The bus is right there. I'm like, bam. All right? I have my fucking, I got my confirmation number and everything. I see some dad coming out. His family all gets on the bus. He has 2 carry-ons in a child seat. Where's the wife? She's with the kids. She carried the kids on, the ones that can walk with their own power, and they go and sit down. So this poor bastard runs back to the curb to get the child seat. All these fucking assholes on the bus are just staring at the guy. It's like, people, we're all in the same team here. We can't go until this poor bastard, gets all this shit on the bus. How about you help out, right? Everybody's standing there. So the guy comes fucking running over. He's got the stupid chair, the child seat thing. So I just reach out and he hands it to me, right? And he just fucking, I don't even think he said thank you. He fucking runs back. I put the chair up where it needs to go. He shows up with the other 2 bags. I help him up with one, blah, 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 blah. And he sets everything down, and I'm waiting for a big, hey, man, thanks a lot. Little dad fist bump. He doesn't say anything. He just looks at his wife and smiles and goes, they're all on, and then walks back to where his wife and kids are. And all I'm thinking is, where's my pat on the back? I didn't have to do that. Didn't say a fucking word. So then immediately in my head, I'm like, oh, this cunt, he's got a fucking management position, doesn't he? He's got an expense account. Like he'd be on the fucking rental car bus. I was just like, you know what? Fuck this guy. This guy's somebody's boss. And he's a douche. I shouldn't have done that, right? Whatever. So the bus is pulling up. It's fucking jam-packed with people, and I'm doing a fucking head count, right? We go by the blue line. A third of the bus gets off. And all I'm thinking is, fuck. I recently just switched over to Hertz because budget has their head up their ass. So all I'm thinking is, I got to get off this fucking bus, and I got to be part of that first third, so I'm not standing in the line, because my wife is probably, God knows now that I'm over here, is probably getting the bags, and she's going to be like, see, it wasn't that. See, I was actually right. See? So anyways, the bus doors open. I'm the second person off the bus. It's one of those buses that's dragging another bus. That's how big it is. And I shamelessly, with my backpack, sprint past everybody. Sprint. 49 years old. All right? Sprinting. Fucking running. NFL Films could have filmed this and shown it in fucking slow motion, right? I fucking run by everybody. I'm the first person in. There's one person in line at Hertz, and he's already being helped. And I fucking run all the way up, and I'm right fucking there. And wouldn't you know, I couldn't believe it. There was some other lady up there, and she just goes, hello, sir, welcome to Hertz. Can I help you out? I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better than budget. Okay? I got my fucking reservation number ready because I know they're not going to have my car ready because this is everything. It's going too good. So she goes, what's the last name? And I go, Burr. She goes, Burr. Oh, I have your reservation right here. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I go, is it an SUV? It's an SUV. Do you got a kid seat? We got a kid seat. You got one of those little savey save fucky fuck passes so I can go through the goddamn tunnel? Yes, we do. Bang, bang, boom. Right? Smiling, waving. She's great. I get it. I go, you got to be shitting me. So I fucking walk out. I make a right. Space number 910. There she is. I throw my bags in the back. I fucking get in the car. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get out. There's like 50 signs that say exit. I'm driving in a fucking circle trying to get out of there, and I start losing my shit a little bit. So every time I go to rent a car, I always have to double back because everything says exit. Every aisle says exit, and then you realize, oh, that's for me if I just pulled out here. It's so fucking stupid. So I pull up, and as, you know, I do the whole thing. Hey, thank you very much, yada, yada, yada. We'll see you later. And then right as I'm pulling out, I go, wait a minute. Is there a child seat in this thing? I turn around. There's no child seat. I just talked to the lady. The fucking lady. And she told me there was going to be one in there, and like an asshole, I took her fucking word for it. I took her fucking word for it that these goddamn fucking people were going to put a car seat and then they don't have it, and I'm driving out. Now I pull over, and now there's somebody behind me beeping because I'm the cunt now who's like looking back in disbelief. I shut off the car. I opened the back end. That's right. And then I got back in to see that there was no car seat. So I'm starting to lose my shit. This guy behind me beeps the horn. I'm trying not to get mad. And I'm like, fucking cocksuckers, I lose my mind. Now I got to somehow figure out how to go back in. So I'm driving around, and my brain's going, don't call your wife right now. Don't call your wife. So what do? Call my wife. She picks up the phone. I go, Nia, these fucking assholes forgot to put a car seat in here. She goes, oh, well, we're here. We have the bags, but they lost my mom's bag. And all of a sudden it's turning into planes, trains, and automobiles. This nice, smooth trip. My kid was great. My wife agreed that I could break off and actually efficiently get the car while they wait for the bags. They had my reservation. They had all the accoutrements that I needed in the car. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it was going to, and somehow I went off on millennials, like they're running Hertz, like it's not a bunch of people from my generation and older. And I fucking threw my hat down, screaming at the top of my lungs, every curse word I could possibly muster up. Going, these goddamn fucking millennials. They can't fucking do anything right because they spend their entire life looking at a fucking screen. They can't solve any problems because anytime they have a problem, they either call their parents or fucking Uber and somebody shows up and pulls them out, you know? Like a fucking helicopter pilot in Vietnam. Just comes choppering in and lifts them up out of their fucking problems. So I fucking drive back. And I fucking pull in. And as I come walking around, getting ready for a battle, this fucking guy from Hertz comes walking out. He goes, hey, how are you? I go, yeah, I was supposed to have a child seat. I don't have one. He goes, well, I can help you out with that. And he was so nice, he diffused all my anger. So he walks around the back. He goes, all right, there's the child seats. Which one do you want? How old you? She goes, which one do you want? I go, the one that's going to not make my kid die. I was still a little angry, and he kind of gave me a look like, oof, that was a little harsh. So he goes, I meant, how old is your kid? I'm like 11 months. And he goes, all right, we got two. We got a black one, and we got like a pinkish one. Is it a boy or girl? I go, it's a girl. He goes, oh, we'll get the pink one. And then he literally, this is a guy in his 60s. He goes, not to say that there's anything wrong if you have a boy. I said, dude, you don't have to do that progressive shit with me. And he laughed. You know, like it's fine. Not to say if you wanted to raise your kid gender neutral or if your kid was already transitioning at 11 months, you know, started doing all that shit. Covering his tracks like he was fucking running for office. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy's great. As always, I flipped out. I'm a fucking asshole. I should have looked. All I had to do was look. And if I looked, I could have just met this guy. It would have been fine. Right? So he gives me the seat. And I go, all right, how do I get this in there? He goes, legally, I'm not allowed to put that seat in or tell you how to do it for legal purposes. And he promptly turns and walks away. And he's walking away. I'm like, so that's it? You just going to walk away? And he doesn't say a fucking word. Guy smiley. I know he heard me. Just turned and walked away, and that was it. And I was like, oh, so this is why the child seat wasn't in there. Because they're not going to put it in there. Even though they know how to put it in there. But they don't want to have the liability. So, of course, now I go to put the fucking thing in there. I figure out how to hook it in. And this thing has enough goddamn slack on it. It's like a fucking... You ever see those YouTube videos where they start, they're filming some kid that they're pulling down the street in like a fucking wagon or I don't know what, a boogie board, or he's on skis with roller skates? That's how this thing's flying around. I was just like, fuck it, we'll figure it out. So I head back to United. Oh, here's another great thing about Logan Airport. This is how bad signage is in Boston. When you pull into Logan Airport, just to give you a heads up, if you drive back with the fucking rental car, you're going to drive into the airport. There's going to be a giant fucking sign with every air carrier that they have there at the airport. It'll say letter A, United, fucking Air fucking Brazil, blah, 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 blah. B, Delta, American Airlines, Air Ethiopia, yada, yada, yada. All A, B, C, D, right? You have to drive by, sift through every fucking airline there is, okay? As you're driving by, 30 miles an hour with somebody beeping behind you. If you're lucky, you find your airline. And then, for the love of God, memorize the letter. Because after that, they're not listing any more fucking airlines. It's just going to say B, C, D. That's all, A, B, C, D, E. And you got to remember, what the fuck was mine? Well, where I was picking up the rental car, I was already past that sign. So now I'm like, what the fuck? So I have to call Nia. As I already went by A, I'm like, Nia, what terminal are you in? She asked me, B, right as I'm driving by B, and I fucking have to do this hard right. I go in there, and right as I pull in, I see on the, the exit where you turn in, there's a sign that says B, and it lists all of them, all the airlines, super small. But this is the greatest thing about Boston. It's not before you get to the turn. It's right after it. They're the fucking worst out here. So we pull in, and, and of course it takes me another 3 phone calls once I'm in B to figure out where the hell my wife is. We then fill up the fucking car. There's not enough fucking room because they gave us like a mid-size SUV. I mean, actually, thank God my mother-in-law's bag didn't come, because we wouldn't have had the fucking room anyways. It ended up being on the next flight, and she got it. So thank God for that. So, but now I'm thinking, like, when we go back to the airport, I have to put somebody in a fucking cab with their bag. And then I get on. So I've already lost my shit. I lost it twice. All right? Once calling up Nia. I guess that's once. And then I lost my shit yelling about millennials for whatever reason, as if they're already running hurts. My apologies to millennials, okay? You guys, you're just like hipsters, okay? You're getting way more shit than you deserve. You're not all bad. All right? So, and then I yelled at the fucking car seat guy. Who now I don't believe his mood. I think it was all just a tactic. Hey, how are you? Absolutely. Here's your kid's seat. Go fuck yourself. That was his vibe. Legally, go fuck yourself. So, anyways, I finally find where my laugh is. We bring all the bags out. We stick everything in. And then I go to get on the Ted Williams Tunnel, which it really should have been in an episode of the Dukes of Hazzard. If they reboot the Dukes of Hazzard, as they're rebooting every fucking show, the amount of a fuck over that the Big Dig was. The fucking Ted Williams Tunnel starts off, it's 4 lanes across, like, wow, this is great. Then it goes down to 3, then it goes down to 2. Who builds a fucking 2-lane fucking tunnel in the last 20, 30 years? Who the fuck has done that? Like, the entire Big Dig it's like 2 fucking lanes that goes down to 1 lane, or it's 3 down to, the whole fucking thing, it's just everybody merging underground. It is absolutely fucking hellish traffic. And all I could picture was all the people that scammed it, living in giant houses with their own fucking helicopter, flying over all of it, not giving a shit. Which I'm sure is not true, but in my head, that all makes sense. So I ended up missing my turn when I came out of the tunnel because, I'm in the tunnel, my GPS didn't work. And so you actually get on the Mass Pike, and their signage is so bad, there's actually an exit you can get off where, with all this signage on how to make a U-turn to drive back to the fucking exit that they know that you missed. But they pocketed all the money for all the signage they should have fucking had to just have one fucking sign, which is the U-turn to send you back in. Which is why everybody in Boston is so goddamn funny. Because they do shit like that, laugh about it, and pocket the money. And then everybody else is having an absolute shit fit, flipping out, saying hilarious stuff about millennials or God knows what. I think I finally figured it out, where they go, why are there so many fucking funny comedians that come out of Boston? I would say because of the lack of signage. It just keeps you in this planes, trains, and automobile mode 12 months out of the fucking year. Everybody in Boston, you know how they know how to get to work? Not because of the signs, because they memorized it. Everybody's going on fucking memory out here. It's certainly not the fucking signs. All right, I think I've made my goddamn point.